Do you think any guy can do that for 30 days?
Yeah, of course.
Definitely not.
I don't think so.
I'm saying, like, do you feel like it's true that it helps them abstaining?
No, because I don't think they're actually doing it.
After coaching a lot of men on their personal hero's journey, of which semen retention is often a part that either got them into their journey or is propelling them forward in their journey, this video is basically two videos. The one reason, that's always the reason for men to relapse on semen retention or not be able to master the practice, and I'm going to give you a bulletproof way forward for you to never relapse again, so that you can reveal more of your potential. And let's dive right in. Let me talk to you as if you're about to relapse. You made the very wise decision to click on this specific video. See, whereas most people would tell you, think about what you're wasting. You just need to discipline yourself. Don't give in. That would be 99% of the advice, right? I'm going to tell you something very different. Do it. But do it only if you're able to not reject yourself for it. See, that's the key. If your semen retention streak is attached to your self-worth, then you're going to relapse. Then it's a matter of time until you're going to relapse. And I don't care who you are, you will. Why? Because there is a need. You've outsourced part of your self-worth to the fact that you're on semen retention, right? You've attached yourself to all these benefits. You're constantly confirming them in your real life, outsourcing all of these positive events to semen retention. And so then if you relapse, you will lose all of it. And you will be a failure and you're weak, right? You reject yourself. But in truth, nothing really changes. You're still good enough, even if you relapse 7 times today. I'm gonna ask you one thing and one thing only, and then, brother, you can relapse all you want. I need you to shift to a place of choice. To first convince yourself that semen retention is not a need, it is a want. You don't need semen retention to be your most confident, most valuable self. Only if you can manage to get to that point where you can make the decision to relapse and know that you're not going to reject yourself, only if you can get to that point, then ask yourself, do I still want to? Now in this position of choice, in this position of, hey, I can relapse, I can continue. What do you want to do? What you'll find is if you actually manage to go to a position of choice, there's no need anymore, there's no outsourcing your self-worth to your semen retention streak being 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 5 days, or the stars that you received yesterday or the day before that. None of this. Just you who chose this path as a want, as a desire to supplement your life. The sole reason for men relapsing with semen retention, or with weed, or with alcohol, or with video games, with any addiction, is self-rejection. It's the, I will only be a good person if I don't do this. And I will be a failure if I do this. And unfortunately, with semen retention, a lot of men outsource their self-worth to the streak. And I'm telling you, if you just zoom out for a second, I am in total freedom to relapse as many times as I want. And what you'll find is that you probably don't want to do that if you genuinely are in a position of choice. In most cases, understanding this mechanism solves the issue. When you sort of detach from semen retention being a need and you shift your attitude to it being a choice, you are perfectly fine relapsing actually, that there's no self-rejection if you do so. This usually solves most of the problem. But of course, let me give you a bulletproof way for you to continue this streak on top of what I just told you. So in a day-to-day life, I view it as such. There is a base level of resistance in the practice of semen retention that you cannot get rid of anyhow, and there is just one simple answer, and it is mental fortitude, man. You just need to get through that shit. There's no easy way. There's no video that will do anything more than just motivate you a little bit. At the end of the day, it's about your mental fortitude, your willpower to get through this baseline of resistance. If you have been conditioned to a dopamine rush on the daily that is 2.5 times higher than your baseline, which in terms of dopamine activity is almost comparable with cocaine, well, yeah, of course, rewiring your brain is gonna have a price. That price is, like always, overcoming resistance. And so to that baseline, I can only say, I've seen men with extreme addictions do it, so you can do it too. And you know that. So let's move on to the actionable part. So in a practical way, this is how relapsing works. In any situation, we relapse if we want to fill a certain emptiness that feels uncomfortable, and then we grab one of these handles of short-term gratification, of which porn and masturbation is obviously the highest one that we can emulate. So in my experience, I've seen 6 of these types of emptiness that we want to fill. And usually we relapse at the end of the day, because if there is this emptiness at the end of the day, that's usually when we want to fill it, and where it becomes very hard not to. The essential part here is to plug the holes. And like I said, there's 6, so let's go through them. The first one is, of course, direction. Without direction, it's going to be very hard to match this level of resistance. So to plug this hole, let's say if you're gonna go for 2 months, create an image of the man that you're becoming in these 2 months. The values that you choose to live by every single day. And as an extension of that, the second hole that you need to plug is not having an objective. Making semen retention not just an isolated practice, but attaching it to your work, whatever it is that you're doing, so that now semen retention is also a means of supporting you getting to that objective. The third one that I've also seen with many of my clients is excess of energy, which essentially is a positive one. So this hole should be very fun to plug, because this is about dispensing more of your energy. And still, the 4 best ways of dispensing that excess of energy is more social events. Just do this. Place yourself in social interactions and see what happens. See yourself in a new light. This is probably one of the most fun parts of semen retention anyways. Number 2, martial arts. Number 3, resistance training. And number 4, journaling, writing. These 4 go together magically with semen retention, and you can express all that extra energy that you have left in these 4 examples or in different ways. But the key here is that you need to plug this hole, because an excess of energy at the end of the day, you know where that might be going. Number 4, this is the most important one. This is the biggest problem, the biggest challenge I've seen with all of my clients, and that is being unaccomplished at the end of the day. This has to do with your dopamine system. Symbolically, you checking off your boxes at the end of the day, looking back at the day and seeing that you have accomplished exactly what you wanted to accomplish, makes you feel satisfied. You know, I know, relapsing usually happens at the end of the day, and that's not a coincidence. It is 99% of the cases because of this. Feeling unaccomplished, unhappy with what you got done. So the number 1 priority, and that's why I say attach an objective to it. Number 1 priority should be getting your shit done every day. You will get rid of a lot of that emptiness that you can feel at the end of the day, and you will make relapsing very rare. The last 2, number 5 and number 6, are loneliness and validation from women. Again, these 2 don't have an actionable fix. You need to accept it. And that's how we close the loop on this video, bringing it back to the beginning, to the reason why men relapse is because they reject themselves. It's very simple. If you can love yourself, regardless of you feeling lonely or different, regardless of feeling like you need to validate yourself through women and sex, then you will master semen retention. That is what the practice really is trying to teach you. To be unconditionally okay with yourself. It requires you to not reject yourself over the decisions you're making. Thank you for watching until the end. Hope you enjoyed it. Go follow me on Twitter. I just started there. And I'm actually really enjoying this way of creating content. So come join me from the start. And if you want more exclusive content from me, then go sign up for the newsletter. And that's it, man. See you in the next one.